a 26-year-old founder of the election betting site Polymarket had his apartment raided. Shane Copeland lives in Soho, and a whole shit ton of FBI agents stormed into his apartment and seized his electronics. And he has basically claimed, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. This is totally political retribution because Polymarket, the election betting site, well, a betting site overall, but that specializes in an awful lot of political election betting, ended up ultimately, accurately predicting the election. And he's claiming that basically they're going after him now and that he's pretty persecuted here and that this space in general is really going to be cracked down on in the future. Nick, what did you make of this whole saga and what do you make of the claim that it is political retribution?
Yeah, I think without a doubt it is. For some reason, Polymarket, I don't even think Shane is like particularly pro-Trump or anything, but Polymarket ended up being seen as this like instrument that Elon and Trump were utilizing in this sinister bid to manipulate the election. And I mean, look, it's just a market. The market says what the market is going to say. And in this case, it was thoroughly vindicated. Polymarket vastly outperformed the polls, both on a forward looking predictive basis for the ultimate winner. It was consistently more bullish on Trump's chances. And on a latency basis, Polymarket called all these tight elections in the swing states hours before the polls were able to, or the pundits. And so it represents this shift in our sort of like epistemic model around elections is we have these efficient markets which can tell us which way things are going to go long before the pundits can aggregate the data. And I think part of maybe the belly aching around Polymarket reflects the fact that there is this new sheriff in town, which are these prediction markets, not just Polymarket. But yeah, I think it's completely unreasonable that the FBI would raid Shane's house like this. That's ridiculous. They could probably have just asked his lawyer for whatever documents they needed. And yeah, I think they were trying to intimidate a young 26-year-old tech founder. Uh, I suppose their issue is probably U.S. individuals using VPNs to use Polymarket. It's not meant to be used in the U.S. But still, I think there's more civilized ways they could have gone about asking him those questions.
Obviously, the charges haven't been announced yet if they are in fact charging him with anything. But one of the things that really bothers me about this type of thing is that it's really not clear to me that anybody was defrauded here. It's not clear to me that anybody was harmed. What is clear to me is that a whole bunch of people decided to use their own money and to place bets on the outcome of the election. And some people won big and other people lost. And it's not clear to me that there was anything going on other than a whole bunch of consenting adults deciding to put their money, behind their mouths, right? And like to me, it's just hard to see who exactly loses out on that. That's just something that we ought to be totally able to do, and it's unclear to me where this narrative really emerged that Copland or anybody was attempting to sway the election. I mean, it's do you have any sense of like why they would believe this?
Yeah, I think it's preposterous. I was very vocal about it. I suppose it's because Trump was consistently outperforming on Polymarket and frankly other on Predicted and Kalshi too on the other election
Why wasn't
markets.
Kalshi gone after? Like, that's one of the things that's confusing to me about this.
Yeah, I mean, people have all these conspiracies about, Founders Fund invested in Polymarket and
Mm.
Peter Thiel and Elon and Trump, but, because there was this big whale, the French whale that bought all the Trump shares on Polymarket. But, I think if you don't have experience in markets, then it's easy to spin conspiracies about manipulation. But if you are a trader, then, you would just look at this and say, "Okay, well, if the whale is wrong, take the other side of the bet. You're getting better odds."
Yeah, and the reporting on that whale revealed that it's not as if he was some sort of Trump surrogate or something. He was basically a guy who was taking a contrarian approach. There's a way of polling where you can ask, uh, who do you think your neighbor is going to vote for? And he decided that that was showing a very strong signal for Trump. And in his mind, that indicated Trump was way underrated because people don't want to tell pollsters they're going to vote for Trump, but they will guess that their neighbor is going to vote for Trump. And so that's the kind of interesting thing about a prediction market is it can zig when the consensus is zagging and like really uncover something and give us a much clearer picture than any of the statistical modelers gave us that this was going to be a pretty decisive win for Trump. So we're like, it's kind of insane that we're regulating these markets in a way that is preventing that sort of knowledge from surfacing. I'm curious if you have any inkling or notion as to how that sort of regulation could be changed going forward under a Trump administration. If the charges do end up being, oh, people were using VPNs to get around the ban and somehow Polymarket is responsible for that, what's the way to make it so that Polymarket can just operate legally in the United States?
Yeah, it's been the CFTC, the commodities regulator. They have been consistently hostile to prediction markets for decades, which is baffling to me because prediction markets are one of the markets that have very positive externalities, which is that they create this informational signal, right? Which we clearly saw in the last election, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there's counterparties betting on things. They're trying to make money. But out of that arrangement, we get information which is useful for us. We found out that Pennsylvania was going for Trump at 8 p.m. as opposed
Hmm.
to 3 a.m., right? So it's a market with a positive externality. So the fact that the CFTC hates it so much is crazy to me. They've consistently stifled the space. Kalshi had to win a lawsuit in order to be able to offer their markets in the US. Polymarket had to go offshore. So I would look to see who gets the next chairmanship of the CFTC. And I think if it's a pro crypto individual, forward thinking person, then I think the law will change and we'll get a full normalization of prediction markets.
Hey, that was a clip from Just Asking Questions. You can watch another one here or the full episode here. And please subscribe to our brand new channel to get us started off right and be notified when new episodes or clips go up. Thanks for watching.